Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Muller, and I want to talk to you today about wrapping up the end of our school year. June 5th, which is next week, a week from today, will be the last day for school for students and staff in Solon Springs as we wind up quite the eventful 2019-2020 school year. So, a couple things I want to cover with you today: report cards and grading that will be coming out, summer school sessions, what's included in those, and an outline for as we plan for our future. And a couple important dates next week I would like you to remember. June 1st, which is Monday, we have sent out family letters to families for enrollment. And so if anyone is interested in enrolling their students for next year, whether it is for 4K, kindergarten, or any level of classes, we mailed those letters out to a lot of families, whether you were interested in enrolling your children or your children were already enrolled. We thought if you knew somebody who was talking about it or interested, you could give them that information. And once again, that enrollment information is also on our Solon Springs School website, which is www.solonk12.net. And so that should get you to our Solon Springs webpage so that you can get enrollment forms. And that also will be a place during the summer that we will post our most updated information related to summer school and also related to future planning for the school to start. We do have our 2020-21 school calendar in place. We are planning on starting school September 1st. We are planning on a traditional school year, and everything between now and then is going to depend on regulations and guidance from both the CDC, from the health departments, as well as our education officials. So we are working very hard towards all of that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So first of all, as we come up to the end of our school year, people are turning in a lot of books and materials. So June 1st is a time to turn in enrollment forms or to bring enrollment forms to school and get more information, because Linda and Lisa will be there on Monday all day to be able to answer questions, give forms, and take paperwork that you can bring in. You do not ever have to mail something personal like a birth certificate if you are enrolling your child for the first time. We need to see that. We do not need a copy, nor can we keep a copy of that. So you could bring that to school. They will be right there by the drop-off pickup area to be able to handle those things safely and at a safe distance with you. So then June 3rd, which is Wednesday, is the day that we're asking for all textbooks and all laptops to be dropped off. Not only do our students who have been assigned one-to-one laptops, but also the many laptops that we loaned out during this COVID-19 break from school, we need to have those back in because we'll be using those laptops to begin the next school year. We'll also be using those laptops for summer school, but we need all of the laptops and the power cords returned on or before June 3rd. Again, we will have people there because those need to be stored. They need to be sanitized and reviewed and get ready for next year. Our students are using these from year to year, and we want to make sure they're in good shape and working order for them as we start our new school year. Some of those will also be sent out again for summer school use. So as we wrap up the school year, again, I told you a couple dates, June 1st and June 3rd. That brings us to the end of June 5th, which is the last day of school. That's when teachers will be submitting grades. Now, I sent a letter way back in April talking about our grading system that needed to be changed. Just like other schools in our area, Superior and Duluth, we added some grading options to grades. One of those was an IP, an in progress, and that gave students a chance to have time to get access and help from their teachers or from our paraeducators or from support personnel to help you get assignments done and turned in and getting the help that you needed. The other options are going to be a pass or a no pass. The reason we have a pass and a no pass is that we want to ensure that no student's grade point average will be affected by negative grading, especially in this time of COVID-19. And some of our other schools in the area have done the same thing. So if your child's grade reflects a pass or a no pass, that's what that means. Now, a no pass means that their grade point average is not going to be affected. However, they need to earn that credit again. If it's a credit earning class, they would not be earning credit for that. It's not going to affect their grade point average, but they're going to make sure to need to get that credit in the future. So that kind of dovetails us into summer school, because we wanted to make sure that students had options in summer school, as well as building in time at the beginning of the school year. We are well aware that many people are just tired of trying to do schoolwork from a distance and to use a laptop. Others have found that that's a good way for them, and so it works well. So we have opportunities for credit recovery during summer school. And then in the beginning of the school year, the schedule always includes the Eagle Hour in our middle and high school classes. And so that's going to be a time that we're going to have some credit recovery options for students as well. We don't intend for students to repeat a whole class. What we intend to do is to review the material that needs to be reviewed for them to be able to move on to the next class. So for an example, this is just an example. If a student was taking Algebra 1, it would be very difficult to be successful in Algebra 2 if they didn't get at least 50% of the content and the topics that are covered. So there will be opportunities, again, during summer school and at the beginning of the school year during Eagle Hour for credit recovery, for students to get what they need in the content areas with the support that they need, not on their own. So those options will be there. So I just wanted to have you be aware of that. If you have any questions, please email me or give me a phone call, because I'd love to talk with you about your questions and your concerns. The next thing I wanted to talk to you was the summer school sessions. Our summer school sessions start June 15th. There are 2 weeks at the end of June here, this coming June, that will be our first session. Now, keep in mind that our first session must be distance or virtual, because our school buildings need to be closed until June 30th throughout the state. So we will be offering distance or virtual credit recovery or some academic enrichment that will be going on. So some of those summer school registration forms were also sent to you, but they are also available. You can just call the school and we would be happy to enroll your child or children into summer school. The second session is July 6th to July 17th. We are very hopeful that by our July and August summer school sessions that we will be able to have some level of face-to-face time. So we can't plan for that at this moment because we don't know what availability we will have. But we are very hopeful that we'll be able to, between July 6th and 17th, have some face-to-face time with our students. And again, that would be opportunities for credit recovery, academic enrichment, and we are hoping, if things are open, that in the afternoon swimming lessons would be available as well, as they have been in the past years. That instructor is still ready to go, and if the kids are able to have our lessons, then we will be able to do that. The third session is scheduled July 27th to 31st and August 3rd to August 7th, the last week in July and the first week in August. And again, credit recovery, academic enrichment, but we're really, really hopeful to be able to get groups of students into our building at that time, kind of like getting ready for school and getting back into the building and being able to walk around and see where classes are and see what it looks like. We will absolutely be having opportunities that are based virtually on tours of the school before school starts as well, but it would really be nice for us to be able to have some face-to-face time. So having said that, I am working closely with Julie Fromm, and we will be mailing out more information about our second and third session as we get information about what we are allowed to do and what we are able to provide. As always, our summer school sessions will make sure that credit recovery is happening. If you are going to enroll your child in credit recovery for summer school, we are going to be talking to those teachers to see what lessons need to be made up and to make it be as specific as we can to that student and their needs, not just general academic enrichment. If your student does not need credit recovery, we certainly will do the credit or the academic enrichment, and we will also be focusing on options such as successful online learning, because that has been a challenge for some people. So, grading and report cards, talked about summer school, talked about June 1st and June 3rd, and now I would like to spend just a couple minutes talking about our planning for the future. This next week I'm going to be working with a group of several teachers, and we are going to be talking about planning for the future. That planning for the future is going to include 3 scenarios. The first scenario would be that decisions are made at levels far beyond our school district that buildings would be closed and that we would need to continue in the same fashion that we are now. That would be a full closure situation. The second scenario would be a hybrid situation. How can we offer education for students that is a combination of in school and, if parents would like it, options for at home? What kind of classes can be taken from home and what kind of classes can be taken at school? How can we combine things? So there's lots of different ideas in that hybrid model that haven't been officially defined, but we are certainly discussing them and putting forth some plans for that. The third session would be a full-on everybody comes to school. So we would be planning for that as well. What does transportation look like? What does entering and exiting the building look like? What would be the schedules for classes and for the students? And what sizes would those be? All of those things are going to be discussed, and pretty much a skeleton plan will be put together. We have to be ready during the summertime to be able to fill those plans in and be able to determine and communicate to you which of those plans is going to best fit our community. So any of those kinds of planning opportunities will be discussed at our school board meetings, and that information will be shared with you as well. We will be doing a lot of mailings because that appears to be one of the most consistent or reliable ways to get information to you. But when we can, we will certainly try to share some of these YouTube videos as well to make sure you can get that information. Mrs. Holly Jones will be replacing me as of July 1st. She is our new Solon Springs School principal, and I am really, really proud to be able to turn this over to her. When I say turn this over, I guess what I really mean is to share the wonderful community, the wonderful opportunities she's going to have to get to work with your child or your children. These are amazing people. I had an opportunity to be in a Zoom session today with the class. And these children have faced these difficult times with grace, with perseverance. They have really stepped up to the plate and done a wonderful job. They've picked up at home. I've heard wonderful stories about the great things that are going on at home with the students. These children have grown in amazing ways. They have grown in strength and they have grown in character. And Mrs. Jones gets to see and be the recipient of all of those good things that are going to happen with Solon Springs, because you and your children are going to be with us on this journey. So I wanted to thank you again. I will do one more YouTube video before my time to turn over the reins to Mrs. Jones, and so I look forward to one more time getting to talk to you. Just as a quick plug, July 11th, we are continuing to plan on the second part of our graduation process for our seniors. We had our seniors drive through and pick up their caps and gowns last Saturday. That went very well, and it was exciting to see the kids so happy and so proud. And we will continue with that process. We're going to be meeting at Lucius Woods on July 11th for a more official ceremony in a socially distant, appropriate manner, so we can honor the students who are graduating, the graduating class of 2020. We hope between this week and next week, you'll start to see some banners in Solon Springs that celebrate each of our seniors. Those banners will be taken down in a few weeks, and they will be given to the seniors as a gift to the seniors from our community. So thank you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for always asking good questions, and thank you for staying in touch with me. I will be seeing you around. Have a good day.